Both left-handers, but you get that little foot shift after the delivery is gone. But on the actual release phase, they are rock solid.
Yeah, bowlers to remember not to get too close to that foul line. They must stay behind the foul line. On it is out, as they say in cricket, and you cannot go onto that foul line.
Nice work. Well, anyone that's ever bowled on a heavily conditioned lane will understand that on it is on your backside, because it gets pretty slippery.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't cross that line, not for any reason. You'll get oil all over your shoes, and as you say, you'll end up on your backside. Ong, first double of the match. Two great looking shots so far.
So Ong still on for that double maximum, but Moor already just 20 pins off the pace. That's assuming they strike out from here. You can't really rule anything like that out. Such is the quality of these players, but they have plenty to deal with during the course of the match. That's a nice return to the pocket from Paul Moor.
As we've mentioned, it's the European #1 player against the Asian ranking tour #1 player. Both left-handers, both high rollers, both with pretty high averages in this tournament. So we're really up for a match of the day.
We've had some phenomenal games in this tournament so far, but for me, Cass, the thing that has really shone through is we haven't had a single game where one player has sneaked through on a pair of low scores. Every player that's come through a round has come through on their own merits.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And in fact, the players that went out in the quarterfinals and the first round put on a good showing for themselves on this reasonably high-scoring lane.
That's a turkey for Ong. Now, I hope you don't think that we're laying off the commentary a bit here and not getting too excited. It's just the sheer quality that we've seen at this tournament so far. Well done, it's a turkey, but we expect to see that at least doubled.
A situation we get from our stats man, Andy Penny, says that Remy Ong's ball is rotating 100 times more going down the lane than Paul Moor's at this particular time, but that can change. Moor needs to get back in the pocket to make the double. And does. Great response.
The persuader, as he's called, persuading another 10 pins onto the floor. The crowd love this, but most of all, they love the local hero. They want Paul Moor through to a third consecutive final, and that in itself is some sort of record.
Oh, absolutely, Simon, yes. I mean, we look at Torrey Torgerson, 3-time winner, but to get to the final 3 times in a row would be fantastic, and obviously they want him to win this one. He's been runner-up twice. Could this be his year? Well, there's 2 players that are trying to stop him. This will be the first one, and if not him, it will be Jason Belmonte in the final. What a setup of matches we're going to get.
Yeah, Moor or Ong. It's going to be a cracking final. No, you heard him say no, he knew it.
Yeah, very much inside his mark on that one. Dropped the ball short, pulled it to the right. Just fortunate to hang on in there. 2-ball adjustment, well, not an adjustment, a 2-ball error. High on the head pin, and that's why it's cut through, leaving that 8-pin standing. His strike ball should normally deflect off onto that pin, but it hasn't. It's cut right through. And Simon, out comes your favourite spare ball.
Yeah, I like this one. So, takes it out with the football. And Paul Moor finds himself back in the hunt because Ong has just lost ground.
Welcome back. Frame 5 saw Moor working a double successfully. The same frame saw Ong strike out.
Now, when we had semi-final one, Cass, we had Barnes and Belmonte following each other exactly, board for board. Do you think it's happening with these two?
Well, they're certainly very, very close, and I would say they're probably within one board, which is about an inch and a pinch difference, and so yeah, they're very, very close to one another's line, and that could have, as I say, could have an effect later in the match.
Four-bagger for Moor. We caught sight of Remy Ong sat in his seat, eyes closed, trying to focus as hard as he can on the task in hand. Ong then working a strike. And he works it pretty well.
Yeah, great reaction in the back end of the lane there, the last 20 odd feet. That ball comes from so wide, doesn't he? Flirts with the channel. And really gets some friction in the back end. That's where all the work's done. That's where all the scores are made. Moore just checks himself. Something in the audience has maybe just put him off. Settles himself again. Goes through his setup. He won't be rushed. Working on 4 strikes. Can he make it 5? There's your answer.
Yeah, he needed a bit of work, didn't he, on the mix of the pins?
There's Paul Moore's father in the background there, just keeping an eye on things, making sure that Paul's playing the right line.
He'll be happy enough. And a 5-bagger for the man they call the Persuader. He's also picked up the nickname at this tournament of Rog, after Roger Moore, 007, licensed to strike.
I don't know where you get them from, Simon, I really don't.
So, Mr. Ong, can he turn the double into a turkey?
Still just the single pin between these two bowlers, which is fantastic.
Great work. Game's on. It really is. So we got 280 potentially for Moore if he strikes out from here, and for Ong, if he keeps the X's going, then we got 279. We are going to have a fractional difference between these two at the end of the game if they keep playing like this, and it would suggest at the moment that they both found the line they want.
Yes, as I say, it's going to be interesting to see any sort of transition in the oil on the lane conditioner with both these players playing virtually in the same area of the lane. Obviously those TV lights burning some of the oil, moving it around. And as I think I mentioned, it's going to be the first player that notices any sort of transition that makes the adjustment, that can stay in that pocket and keep carrying all 10 pins.
Here's the first big problem for Paul Moore, and a long, hard look at the lane. And that suggests only one thing, that he didn't get it wrong, but the condition has changed on him.
Well, yeah, certainly a lot of overreaction in the back end. I think it may have been a slower ball speed there. Didn't quite get it out on line. Slower ball speed. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? That's called the Vegas Slots spare ball.
Glad you said that. 247 to take out.
Hard and straight.
Oh, he'll enjoy that one. That's good sparing. That's the old one, isn't it? Strikes for show and spares for dough. And Paul Moore's parents delighted up there in the audience.
Yeah, he wasn't quite sure about that one, and he's very happy that 7-pin has gone. Gives him the spare after 5 strikes in a row. Gives Ong the chance to go for a 4-bagger and just snatch the lead.